Yes guys, welcome back to another video on the channel today. Today, of course, we're back talking about Wrexham FC, and today we're back with a sort of recap of what's happened over at Wrexham FC the last couple of days, bringing you some transfer news, a game recap of our big win over Colchester United, and of course, we've got to talk about the new temporary stand. But before we get going in today's video, if you're looking for all the best Wrexham FC content here on YouTube, this is the place to be. Get down there, click the red subscribe button. Like I said, there's plenty of Wrexham content coming your way over the course of December and of course the rest of the season. The goal is to hit 20,000 subscribers and we are just over 200 away, so if you could continue the incredible support you've shown me, that would be massively appreciated. And let's get into the Wrexham recap. We're going to start off by talking about our game yesterday against Colchester United. Now, we got the job done. We got a big 2-1 win yesterday at the Racecourse ground. I was really happy with the performance yesterday. I thought we started off the game well. Of course, we always seem to do at home, start on the front foot. We were good in the final third, plenty of chances created in the opening stages of the game, and of course Elliot Lee scored on the 4th minute on his 29th birthday. A bit of a scrappy goal, but they all count as Elliot Lee moves on to 12 goals in 21 games this season. What a game he had. He got man of the match by multiple outlets. He came up with a really big performance when we needed it most. We know that we were with 10 men for the majority of the game, and we'll get talking about that in a minute, but Elliot Lee was one of those players that did shine in that performance yesterday. And of course, talking of red cards, George Evans did actually receive his first red card of his career. Now, he got a first yellow card for a late challenge. He was pressing when Colchester United played out from the back, and fair enough, it was a yellow card, the first tackle, because it was very late. But the second one was right in front of the referee. You literally couldn't have been any closer to the ref. It was a rash tackle. It was a very silly decision, I think, and it was a straight red card. It wasn't a second yellow, which means George Evans is now out for the next 3 league matches. Newport County on the 23rd, Swindon Town on Boxing Day away, and Walsall away on the 29th, which is a massive blow because he's been instrumental in that midfield for us, and I would go as far as saying he's irreplaceable at the minute. So it's a massive shame to think that he's going to miss that busy Christmas period. It's really frustrating because it means we probably have to put Tom O'Connor, maybe push him up from left centre back, which might mean Will Boyle will have to come into the side, which of course I've got no issue with that at all. But George Evans has been fantastic since signing for us, and he'll be a big miss in those games over the Christmas schedule. And yeah, it will be very interesting to see what type of changes Phil Parkinson does make to that midfield. Of course, we've talked about will Tom O'Connor possibly push up from left centre back, but then again, he's been really good at the back. Do you think of bringing Luke Young back into the team? Of course, could this open a pathway for Luke Young to obviously get more minutes in the Wrexham team? And of course, there's been rumours of him leaving in January, so if he's going to be required to be brought into these 3 games over the Christmas period, could that decrease his chances of possibly leaving Wrexham in January? We don't know. This has definitely made an interesting situation, and of course, in my opinion, I think he's going to push Tom O'Connor into centre defensive midfield and bring Will Boyle into the starting 11. And yeah, on the red card topic, although we were playing a team that were 22nd, like I said in my preview, most goals conceded, most losses, it was always going to be hard when you go down to 10 men. In League 2, it's completely different to the National League, okay? You might go down to 10 men and the team you're playing might be part-time, but this is completely different. Every team in this league has got a good quality squad, and we always knew it was going to be a fight, and we knew we were going to have to dig deep to get the 3 points, and that's exactly what we did. We worked together as a team. Like I said, we dug deep for 71 minutes to get a massive 3 points going into these run of fixtures over Christmas. I think getting these 3 points here was really vital. Every player yesterday played a huge role, of course, in getting those 3 points, and one player I do want to mention is James McLean, especially him down that left flank, full of energy. He was a threat when going forward, and when it required him to defend, I thought he did his job really well. Always looking to create a chance down that left hand side, loves putting a cross in. Unfortunately, when we went down to 10 men, of course, there were times where he put a really good cross in the box, but you could tell we bought that striker off and we were missing that presence in the box, but it paid off as well. We were really good defensively. We had good structure when we did go down to 10 men, and of course, James McLean, I would give him my man of the match. And yeah, it's those type of wins that we'll probably look back on, hopefully come the end of the season when we get promoted, and be thankful that, the team worked really hard to pull through with a big 3 points. And of course, going into these Christmas fixtures, the players will, be required to work that extra bit harder. And this 3 points will hopefully give them that motivation to, of course, come out out with maximum points over the Christmas period. We've got some really tough games. Swindon Town away, not going to be easy. Newport County home, it's a bit of a fierce rivalry between the two teams, so that's going to be a crunch match. And of course you've got Walsall away, which, you know, it almost seems to be destined to be a bogey match and a game that we could possibly struggle in, so it's big. And then of course New Year's Day, Barrow at home, that is massive. They sit above us in the table in second place, so that'll be another big one. Overall, a really happy and pleasing performance from Wrexham AFC yesterday. Good to get the 3 points, and we're going to be talking now about the new temporary stand which we saw for the first time in real life. The first words I want to say is that it looked really good. It looked incredible. It was a great sight, and one thing I would say, it is definitely bigger than I expected. Of course, it's good looking at these pictures online, but when you're actually in person, it looks even bigger. It was a brilliant sight to see, looking across from our seats, overseeing a stand finally up in the Kop area that will be in use again next week against Newport County at home. It will be even better when we have those extra fans in that stand, 2,400 extra fans, to make it a hostile atmosphere against Newport County. That'll be a sight to behold. And yeah, if you're wondering on like small bits of news, of course, when we were walking past, you know, past the turf, you could see across, and those wooden advertising boards were covering at least 3 or 4, maybe 5 rows of seats. So we know that they're probably going to be taken down in the due course between now and of course the Newport County games. That's a small bit of news, and it looks as if our own Ryan Reynolds got the first look of the new temporary stand. That's what we can sort of gather from the pictures. You know, he's walking out from that way, so I'm sure he'll be eager to have a look what the stand was like, and I'm sure he'll be extra happy like we all are. Looking at it, it will definitely more than do the job for the foreseeable future. 2,400 fans, it looks good, it does look good, and I think it looks even better with the black seats. It will be good to see extra fans inside that stand, of course, to keep the atmosphere inside the Racecourse ground. You'll have a 4-sided stadium mostly packed with Wrexham fans, making a good atmosphere every game. It's going to be a phenomenal sight as well on the 23rd of December. And looking at it as well, looking at the fact that it does hold 2,300, it just does put into perspective how big the Kop is actually going to be. The Kop will be 5,500. It's going to be massive, and it's going to be big on the town. It's going to be beneficial for the Football Club of Wrexham going forward, the future, club football wise, and of course hosting international games. It just is going to be massive, and it's going to be a really good feature for the Racecourse ground going forward. Next bit of news we're going to be talking about, of course, I said it in the intro, transfer news. 4 words, Luke Armstrong to Carlisle. Yes, you have heard those words right. It's almost certain that our near summer signing, Luke Armstrong, is heading up north to sign for League One side Carlisle United. Now, I think this is definitely a sigh of relief to many Wrexham fans, because we know it. Transfer deadline day, we were that close away from getting the deal across the line for a reported £500,000. Now, I think that's where a lot of Wrexham fans were a bit sceptical, of course. £500,000 for a League Two striker who didn't have the scoring record as a Paul Mullin, who we got on a free, so it was always going to be a massive risk. Of course, we've seen Carlisle United have a new ownership group that have took over the club, so it seems as if they've got a bit of cash to splash on players, and Luke Armstrong seems to be one of those players that is on their radar that will be set to sign for Carlisle United come the January transfer window. You know, without being bitter or anything, I'm not overly disappointed that we haven't got Luke Armstrong. Okay, it would have been nice, but I'd have probably paid half of what Carlisle United are set to sign Luke Armstrong for. Carlisle fans seem happy, and rightly so. You know, he's got a good scoring record. Like I said, I think he got 15 goals and 16 goals in 2 separate seasons for Harrogate, and of course we know Harrogate Town, they struggle most years when they have been in the EFL, and Luke Armstrong has definitely been that star player in the starting 11, the man that you can rely on to get goals every week, and you know, I think he will do a good job up north for Carlisle United. It will be interesting to see if they have spent £500,000, because there's a chance that Harrogate Town might have lowered the price for Luke Armstrong, because of course he's disincluded himself from the matchday squad. They might just be eager to get him gone from Harrogate Town and just get that money as soon as possible. The interest in Wrexham looks like it has possibly died down a bit, so there won't be that high demand that there was originally for Luke Armstrong. If I'm looking at a transfer fee for this, it might be around the £350,000 mark. If it's 500,000, then fair play to Harrogate for sticking for their price, but I can't see them demanding that much considering the circumstances that has happened with Luke Armstrong. Another factor why Luke Armstrong might have headed up north for Carlisle United, I've seen a lot of people say that he has actually got a business that he's run up north, so that would make sense because he's played for the likes of Cowdenbeath, Blythe Spartans, Middlesbrough, all teams that are up north. So, it's going to work better for him, moving up north. He'll be closer probably to home than he was. It'll be easier for him to run his business. And of course, he's getting the dream. He's playing in League One. He's playing for a big club in Carlisle United. So we can only wish the best for Luke Armstrong, because he spoke very highly of Wrexham AFC before he was obviously set to sign, which is unfortunate. So we can only wish him the best. And then that obviously does lead on to the question, what are Wrexham AFC planning on doing in the transfer window regarding a striker? Now, I think it's fair to say Wrexham AFC will be looking at bringing another striker in the January transfer window. So if we've sort of moved our interest away from Luke Armstrong, could that open a pathway possibly for Johnson Clark-Harris? Now, it's definitely not a secret that Wrexham AFC were after Clark-Harris in the summer transfer window. Their own chairman even said it, that Wrexham had approached Peterborough for Johnson Clark-Harris, and we know the qualities he's got. He would be phenomenal up front for Wrexham AFC. I couldn't even imagine a partnership of Clark-Harris and Mullin. It would be goals galore. You'd guarantee goals. I think Clark-Harris would take us up to League One. He'd be that extra quality that I think we just do need in that attacking play to bring in. And of course, I think he's only scored 4 in 16 for Peterborough, so maybe he's not really happy with his situation at the club. Will he be looking for a move away? That's questions you've got to be asking, and is there a chance that we could see Clark-Harris in a Wrexham shirt come January? And the final bit of news is an injury update regarding our shot stopper Arthur Okonkwo. Now, it's been reported by Twitter page Arsenal Lone Watch that Okonkwo has successfully had surgery on his jaw and he's returned to Wrexham AFC. If true, that is a massive boost for us. If we're looking at a time span between when obviously he's returned and when he's back to Wrexham AFC, I think we can hopefully expect to see him back for the Newport County game. If not, he might feature on Boxing Day away at Swindon. But either way, it's a big bit of news and we're delighted to see Arthur Okonkwo back fully fit. So yeah, that is it from me today in today's video. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of our win over Colchester United. Of course, do all that good stuff, like the video, subscribe, comment down below, just let me know anything in the comment section. Of course, I'll see you in another video. Take care guys, up the town.